Yeah, so today, you know, I was saying, I think we were both on this morning when I was saying, today's all about going with the flow. And actually, you know, I needed to get cool. I had quite a busy day, but I'm making sure that I get time for my swim every day. So I came down to have my swim, and then I was thinking, it's still hot, and I've got quite a steep hill to go back up. And then I was thinking to myself, I was kind of looking around, I'm thinking, there's some quiet spots here. I've got my 4G back on, that's great. I'm kind of doing the water element. Why on earth am I going home? So I'm not appropriately dressed. I have no yoga mat. I have my phone like balanced against some rocks, like there, to be filming. But I just thought this would be probably, the cats are crashed out. It's too hot for the cats. It reached 38 today, so that gives you an idea. So this is like, it's really hot. And I thought this might be a better place because it's my favorite place to catch the sunset next to home. It's just literally 5 minutes from my pond, but it's an uphill. So it was part of me kind of not really wanting to climb the hill. And then I was thinking, I think this is a better plan, doing it by the water, because you're going to hear the water and get the sunset behind me as well. So it was like one of those hopefully unexpected sort of like, you know, wild chilly moments, which was kind of like, oh, well, let's just do that then, shall we? So I hope that's okay. So we're going all about water element tonight. And a lot calmer, say, than this morning or the other kind of sunlight stuff that we've been doing. Although I've got this big like sun behind me again, haven't I? It's apparently this like haze. The haze is something that's come over from the Sahara. I don't know, but it's just like this, well, the haziness that we had at the summer solstice. Don't know whether that's going to clear at the full moon, but let's see. But let's start with grounding. So tonight we're going to do a few breathing exercises as well into the mix. I had some plan for doing some somatic groundwork, and then I'm just like sat on stones here, so I might need to change the plan, but that is all water relevant, going with the flow. Let's start with grounding. So let's start maybe by taking the hands down into the earth, if that feels good, and just starting to feel that space around you. So, you know, and you can do this from anywhere. I'm hoping to inspire that you can, you know, do yoga from anywhere, and just as long as you've got, you know, something with you, you can move in. But just feeling, first thing we always do, and I do this if I do my own practice, I go and find somewhere to do yoga. I feel the space first. It's like this little patch of ground. Feel where you are. Where is your body tonight? Where are you tonight? And let's just take this moment just to kind of settle in. The moment that you feel ready, just coming to a still position. And just arriving, either the hands down on the floor, you have the hands on the heart, the hands down on the knees. Probably for the evening, I would say the palms down rather than upwards. Just a bit better for grounding. So let's just take a moment just to arrive, and I'll let you just tune into the sounds of the water. So maybe you hear the water, or just sense that it's right there. Just what you can hear over the Zoom tonight, but sense the water within you, and how even when you're still, things are still actually moving. And feel this sense of the water just bringing you to this place where it's like this soft melting down into the earth. Just feeling yourself connecting to where you are and where you find yourself right now. What can you notice? First of all, around you, whether it's just the cool air going in through the nostrils, or Maybe there's a smell around you, a sensation. Even if it's a distracting sound, just notice it. Just notice where you are. Just notice how you feel right now. That sound of the water just reminds you just to go with the flow. And if you don't know how you feel, sometimes we arrive and we just go, I really don't know how I feel right now. And just that noticing if I don't know is mindfulness. And just feeling inside you, the breath like a wave. You know, it never really, it's not kind of linear, forwards and backwards. It's a loop, it's a wave. Circular motion. Feel that tide within you as we approach this full moon. So maybe when we feel the ebb and flow a little bit more strongly, you look at the effect the moon has on the water. It's also within us. Just feel that flow within you. Even inhale and exhale, but all just like a loop. It's like the breath, like a spiral. Spiral one way, spiral back the other way. Circular rather than linear. Like the wave. Let's just start to move the hands onto the knees now. We're just going to slowly just transition into our Sufi grind. So finding that spiral. And the water element. It's about getting creative. It's about, I love it because it's that idea, like colouring outside the lines. It's just going with how it's connected to our emotions, really moving with how you feel in this moment. How does it feel to move right now? Can you make this evening with this water element? It's kind of embodying this sensuality, this really feminine energy tonight. Just move in a way that feels like it's like that tales of the unexpected kind of floaty, soft, fluid movement. Slowly change over the cross of the legs. It's funny how things work out, isn't it? You know, it's like, oh yeah, I'm going with the flow, go with the flow. And then I found this like magical spot. I've never actually filmed from here before. And I've just realised that sun right behind me is quite magical. So it just shows you that sometimes, you know, I talk about earthing a lot and like grounding, and that is important. But if we're too grounded and we're too stuck in our ways, so my groundedness would have, you know, taken me home to my usual spot I teach from. The water element, and I've had 3 swims today, I think that helped. The water element helps you just get creative with things. Look for just what feels good. Not it's releasing should from like your practice, from your, you know, how you're living, and just embracing that. like going with your feeling sense. What feels right for me in this moment? And then we're going to come to a stop. Just take the arms out to the side. Okay, we're going to keep the right hand planted. We're going to create this kind of wave effect with this left hand. So just like circle the wrist a little bit, get that moving, get it all fluid. Just like the arm right, all floppy, feel it fluid. That feeling of it when it's in water, the arm, as if it's in water. And I should really, I want to mention one of my favorite teachers. It's called a guy called Carlos Tao. And he's literally works with the, you know, he talks about us being fluid beings. And the way he moves, it's just like, it's just incredible. Feel the fluidity in the body, really magical. And then with this arm, we're going to just create a wave. We're going to go over and then we're going to open. Just nice and soft and fluid. You feel the wave onto the wave. It feels like a surfing action. You go onto the wave and then the wave draws back. I'm just working the shoulders and the heart a little bit, but you'll feel even you were shifting slightly on the sit bones. And then we're going to take this arm up overhead, nice and floaty again. And release. So the hotel there, which is where I used to film from outside, it's full of French. And the French are playing tonight at the football. So there's it's a slight contrast over there to my little Zen place here. Just if you heard something in the distance there, just kind of telling you what it is. Now let's hold to the right here. And then let's open and fold in. So getting rid of that tension in the shoulders. These movements are also great for waking up this vagus nerve. It's really, really weird, actually. I'm just going to sort of share this with you. Last week I had a stiff neck all week. Could not figure out what I'd done, why it was stiff. Then a little bit of stress, even though positive stress, doing this like well-being week. And then pops on my feed an article about stiff neck and vagus nerve, which was something I didn't know the connection between, and I suddenly knew what was wrong with me, and then I could have gone about fixing it. So it was like a learning experience, and I felt like this article was like a gift from the universe. It was like, here you go, here's what's going on, and let's open the arm and release it down. Maybe the arm's a little stiff now. Let's just have a little wriggle and a wave over that right leg, just like easing out tension in the shoulders, just wriggling them, and like as if you're kind of scratching an itch. And then just taking a moment just to soften and fold down over that leg. Just arriving, feeling the body fluid again. So even, you know, if we're in a position like this, and I'm saying just like be here, feel free to fidget. There's going with the flow. Feel free to fidget, wriggle, itch. And then slowly lifting up. Just take a moment just to notice the difference between the sides. Whether I'm on a slant here, but I literally feel like this. I don't know if you do. It's like after doing that movement, it's like I've been holding tension right the way up there, and then this shoulder's kind of gone down. So this is what we want to create on the other side. Let's change over the cross of the legs. The thing with going with the flow, though, is that I did actually have a class plan tonight, which I can't follow this evening because of where I find myself. So we've sometimes got to adapt to our environment. But so I'm going with the flow. But let's get this right arm going. There's nothing, as you might know, there's nothing that inspires me more than nature. So sometimes it's like the my favorite way of like moving to heal is to find a space that inspires me and then see what my body wants to do in that space. Just like let this arm go all floppy and free. And this is what this space is telling me, and I couldn't be closer to the water, really. And it's a good job there's not a big tide here, because I'll be going under very shortly. Just let my arm go floppy. Releasing the day's tension, just like easing it out. We're going to take the right arm out to the side, and then we're going to go and open. And open. Just at your own pace, just finding that spiral of the movement. So the hand comes down. There's kind of like the one-way spiral. The palm turns, the spiral goes the other direction. I love it, like if I bring my hands really close, like I've got giant hands. Such a child, sorry. So see how just the movement, we'll just kind of focus on what the hands are doing, but actually it's creating kind of this loosening effect right down into the hips. And actually it's affecting the sacrum here as well. Let's do one more. Holding this arm out and taking it over. Ooh, and releasing it. Sometimes you can even imagine that you're in water. I used to teach back in the day, I call it aqua aerobics, and always for people with limited mobility as well. It was so supportive for the body. And I might have told you this story, but when I was young, I was 18, when I broke my back, as soon as I could, they'd lower me into the water, take my back sort of cage off, lower me into the water, because I said, I want to walk through water. You know, it's going to be the best thing for me, because I'd studied everything. And being in water has this lovely supportive effect. It's like where our bones came from, the sea. It's like this sense of going home. And let's hold this arm up. Let's take it open and round. Open it out. And rounding over, just finding that different spiral. I was kind of dunking my head under today because there was this thing underwater. And I was swimming with a French friend of mine. And I was like, I'm sure that's something you French would eat. Like, what is it that's under there? Apparently it was just a sea vegetable, but it was like, it was moving and it was this spiral and it was just so lovely. I think maybe that inspired sort of some of the movement today. The way it moved just at the bottom of the sea, it was moving, it was alive. Let's take the hands either side of the legs and just have oh, does that feel nice? Just have a nice scratching, itching, moving the shoulders around, getting all juicy. Juicy was a word from this morning, wasn't it? I didn't even know it was going to be the word from this morning. It just was. Let's get juicy. Releasing the head, maybe moving that round as well. How does that feel? And then slowly lifting up. Let's take the right leg out to the side from here. Just the left leg nicely sort of nestled into the thigh. We're just going to start to turn around towards this right leg and again get this kind of fluid sort of juiciness going on. We're not holding this leg rigid, and in fact, you know, you can even take a cushion or a rock from the beach underneath the back of the leg like that. You know, I was doing a lot of like walking up and down stairs the other day. So sometimes you'll feel tightness at the back of the leg. If it feels too tight, it's going to contract. So just to support it with something might feel nice as we just sort of soften over that leg. can't believe I'm using rocks as a prop. It was so funny. Somebody had sent me a message saying, I know you want to book that Park Ursula for yoga, but I don't think it's really ideal. I think you might need some like flooring and lighting and sound. I was like, no. It's like, just need nature. Nature's got everything we need. Everything we need. How do you move in a very natural way with this? What's a natural thing to do? Maybe now you want to just massage that leg and reach down towards the foot. Maybe it feels nice. Maybe you can reach down, and it might be that you want to bend it a little bit more, but you just massage the foot. What's really great about this one is that it's like softening into the hips and all these sticky bits around the sacrum. And now we're just going to slowly roll up. We just want to kind of rebalance from that a little bit. So we're going to spiral around towards the front, take the left hand behind you, and with the right arm, we're going to lift it up. We're going to lift off the chest. Now, maybe you want to push down into that back hand and lift off the hips and rise up, and just have a little explore with that right arm where it wants to go into, where it wants to move into. And slowly releasing down. Good. Let's change over the cross of the legs. So again, you might want something just to support the back of the knee. I could just play around in the rocks all day long, I think. Do you ever get into an environment and you just think, oh, I think this is like my natural habitat? Let's just like roll forwards. Just literally playing around. It's this sense of what is it? Yeah, I was mentioning to some people the other day, I said, I haven't done yoga before. I said, that's brilliant if you've not done it before. So your blank sheet. I approach everything with like this beginner's mind. Like, I've never done this before. Well, that's interesting. What's interested on my body? Oh, it moves there and then it can't move any further. There's a little tight spot there. I just move in a way that water moves. Nice, juicy. How do I feel as juicy as possible? Maybe now we're reaching down, maybe massaging the leg and massaging the bottom of the foot. Seeing how everything feels. Softening over the leg, or bending the leg a little bit more if you want to really get to the foot. It's important if you feel like you need a little bit more grounding. And slowly rolling up. Come into the upright, taking the arms out to the side, planting the right hand, spiraling this left arm around, and then lifting up. The hip lifts if you want. You can push down into the back hand. You can lift all the way up, opening the heart and the hands. It's called Wild Thing, this. And then releasing down. And taking the legs out wide. Hoping this isn't indecent with my shorts. I wouldn't usually wear my shorts like this for yoga, but I'm thinking you'll forgive me that I think the backdrop's better. So hands to the earth and then hands out to the side. Just like tickle the toes if you can. Just reach down, tickle the toes. And we're just going to swim this right arm back, swim the left arm in front, and lift up the chest. And as you do that, turn the feet, lift the hips. We've done this a few times this week. and lower down. Let's sweep down. Round in front. Inhale is our yawn here. So we reach up and stretch. And we exhale, we sweep down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sweep. So now make it even more fluid. Hey, what does this arm want to do? Imagine you kind of swimming through water. Maybe there's a few spirals in there, a few like extra kind of movements in there. Remember like the 3 cups of tea, what does the arm want to do? Just had somebody walk past, just went like looking, just like, what is she doing? Love that. Make them wonder. The way I see it is like the weirder I am, the more it gives everybody else permission to be weird and find their weirdness. We're all trying. Everybody's too busy worrying about what they're looking like. We should all just go out there and not give a one of them. And then everybody else can, and then wouldn't the world be better if we just didn't care what anything looked like? Just went with how they feel. So make this the last one, around to the left. And then bring the legs in front. Bring the legs in front. I'm turning to the side, just decency here. I'm taking hold of the back of the legs and just like shaking out the legs here. A little bit of fire going on. I actually can't believe my backdrop. It's this weird spooky thing. I mean, it looks different on the screen. I'm looking back there. We had this on the sun solstice. Don't know what's going on. It's that the sun looks like the moon, and then the moon came out and the moon was brighter than the sun. It's just weird. It's just not usual for here. So we're going to come down and we're going to like lie on the back from here. So we're going to work a little bit more with the sacrum. So we're going to lay down. Oh, we're going to use a rock as a pillow. Never thought that'd be happening, but there we go. Oh, that's actually perfect. Okay, so lying down onto the back. Just take the arms out this side. Just take a moment just to settle. So we want to re-ground here just while the body finds its center point again, finds its place of balance. And just take a few breaths. It's just walk past looking at me thinking I'm talking to myself. Solve this. Okay. So from here, what we're going to do, we're going to lift up to a bridge. This is lovely sacral stuff. You might remember it from Somadasana if you've done that with me. So we're going to push down to the feet. We're going to lift off the hips. We're going to just start there, just by kind of lift and lower. So this feeling like you're kind of on a piece of elastic or something. Just find that sort of elasticity. The lift is kind of the inhale and the yawn, and the exhale, side down. Just find that kind of elasticity there. And we're going to see if we can press down into the feet and see if we can circle the hips from here. So the arms are just out to the side, hips are lifted, we're circling the hips. Do you remember what we did this morning, like scraping the peanut butter out jar with the hips? Kind of that, but with the hips lifted. It's a little trickier. Rest when you need to. Make sure it's juicy. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're not holding, gripping. Relax the feet. Activating the muscles in the glutes that actually support the sacral area, the spine. So we're going to reverse that now. Take a rest if you need to. Reverse the circles of the hips. Might just be little circles. What feels juicy? Take a few more. And now, press down into the feet, lift the hips right up into the air. Take a big inhale, hold the breath there. You push down into the feet, notice how that leverages the hips up, and then slowly peel the spine down, back onto the floor. Take a moment here, just to let the spine adjust. Just notice you might feel this sense of like this natural curve coming back in the lower back. Let's just bring the knees to the chest. Next time I come and do this, which is now kind of like a sort of public walkway just behind the camera, where the camera is, I'm going to set up a camera in the other direction, just so there's like anybody that just wants a bit of comedy can just like watch the people going past and the different looks on their faces and go, what the hell is that woman doing? Maybe they'll join in one day. So circling the knees. As you do this, like massage the sacrum as well. So sacrum, also known as the sacral bone, just massaging it against the earth. And then let's slowly bring the knees into center. Just take an inhale, slightly push them away from you. And then exhale, squeeze them in. Oh, breathe out, massive breath. Just hold that squeeze there. Wind releasing pose, this one. Let's place the feet down onto the earth again. Take the arms out to the side. Okay, we're going to extend out the left leg here. We're going to bring the right knee into the chest. This is one of my kind of favorite sequences to do if I've got sort of tension in the lower back, where you just feel that sort of achiness. This is a really nice one to do, just to soften off that sacral area. It can sometimes be because, you know, we're holding on a little bit to what was, or there's just like old stuck emotions there. So it's like maintenance doing this. Go in the other direction with the circles. Just think of getting juicy in that hip socket first of all. And let's place the foot down on the floor, just like to the inside. So the left leg's still extended out, the right foot's planted. Arms are just comfortably out to the side, just hanging out. Your arms are just hanging out there. So we're going to inhale to start. As you exhale, you're just going to drop the right knee so it opens out. Have a little yield there, just soften there. Now we're going to inhale, bring the knee back through center. You can exhale, just slightly draw the knee across the body. And maybe at this point, you just want to lift the foot up, so it's just on the inside of the thigh. Inhale, the knee comes back to face the upwards. And exhale and drop the knee out and open it out. Inhale through center. And exhale, drop the knee across the body. At this point, if you want to adjust where the hands are, you can. And even you can use the hands just to guide that knee across the body. Maybe the foot keeps lifted off, but just finding your own movement here. Really delicious kind of somatic movement. Opening and then rolling it over. So gradually we start to unlock this sacroiliac joint, which is like kind of where the base of the spine meets the hip. And just make this the last one. And just bring the knee over and then kind of adjust yourself underneath so that you can just hold kind of a comfortable-ish twist there. And we just slightly putting pressure on with your right hand, with your right fingers, just kind of drawing it over a little bit more, draw and release. So you kind of put a little bit of weight on with the right, just with the fingertips, just press and release. So you got this kind of spring-loaded action, and this is delicious for the low back. you know, I know quite a lot about the back. I would get doesn't sound like I'm showing off, just because I've had to learn it for myself. So, and this for me is one of the most healing things I can do for where the lower back feels all sticky, and a lot of people have problems in their lumbar spine, lumbar sacral area, and this is a really nice one. But we want to be gentle. That's the key. You know, when we start to be harsh with the body will contract, and it will. That's not healing mode. It's not receptive mode. It's kind of resisting mode, fighting mode, survival mode. Okay, let's just ping that knee back up to the top. And we're going to slide the left foot up so that it's flat. We're going to bring the right foot over the knee and just let the right knee fall out to the side. So the right foot over the left thigh. So we're making a figure of 4. Yeah, you've got it. Now just line up the sole of the foot so that the right foot with the outer edge of your left thigh. And then we're just going to rock the foot over. So rocking the right foot over to the left. Yeah, you've got it. You got it. Just let it rock and rock back. Just gently easing it over and rocking it back. I don't know if you can feel this, but this is, you know, this is how the body moves when it's wanting to heal itself, when it's wanting to soften. It's not forced, nothing held. It's just this lovely, gentle, rocking, natural movement. There's a guy down there. He's just like parked himself in a seat just along from me, just so he can watch me, which is a bit weird. He was just watching. Please going, yeah, that looks like it should feel nice. And hopefully you're feeling like it's nice. Let's release the foot down to the floor now. We're just holding it there for a moment. Maybe with your left hand, you just want to draw that right knee gently in, literally with the tip of the finger, just drawing it in, just that pinging kind of action. Draw and release, draw and release. Okay, let's see what's happened there. I'll take the legs back to the center. Extend out the right leg. Oh, let it lay flat. Now take the left leg out and just compare the sides of the body. Let's just take some breaths here. Just compare what's gone on. You know, it maybe felt like nothing very much. Actually, very powerful effects. I don't know if this is the right kind of analogy, but maybe you feel the right side. It's like the bones are like, oh, they've gone back home down towards the seabed. On the left side, still like battling to get to the top of the water. It's like survival mode is left side, and right side is like, receptive, healing mode. So you feel that difference. So let's do the other side. Let's bring the left knee in towards the chest. Work with the psoas first. So just circling around it. It's going to probably feel a little tight, so be really patient with it. You know, we're not rushing, we're going slowly with this. The psoas muscle here that we're working with, it contracts when we're stressed. Stay chronically contracted, which can lead to low back pain. That's why you often get an achy back when you're stressed. So what to do with the psoas muscles. So, and the key is, like the backs of the legs, is being gentle. It's not rushing anything, not forcing anything, but just everything nice and juicy. Maybe going in the other direction about now. Feeling soft. Deep breaths. It's feeling like, you know, you're kind of going around in circles. Stop and breathe. It's kind of a good strategy for life, really, isn't it? When you just feel like you're going round and round in circles. Stop and breathe. Gather your thoughts. See what's going on. Okay, now just releasing that left foot down onto the floor. Taking an inhale to begin. Take an exhale, let the knee drop out to the side. So be gentle with this to start with and take that moment just to yield, to soften before you come back in towards the center. So you inhale, you bring the knee up, and then you exhale, you send it over. Now, however you might feel a little stiff and tight this side, but we're not loosened it off. Inhale, knee in center. Exhale, knee drops out. Inhale, knee in center. Exhale, knee goes over. Now, if you've not tried it before, I would thoroughly recommend, you know, I'm on a stony beach here, and I would highly recommend it. At first I was thinking, can I do any lying down stuff tonight? Can I do my usual like rolling around on the floor? I'd highly recommend it. It feels great. But you've got, the key is you've got to be soft. And now maybe what you want to do is start to lift the foot off so you can maybe spiral a little bit further over with that knee. Just go at your own pace. You can keep the movement going, or you can feel free to hold it. This next one, if you're not already, take the knee across and just use the fingers on the right hand, just the fingertips, just to get that kind of pingy. I don't think pin's a word, but either way, that springy is probably the word, springy, spring-loaded action. Elastic action, just putting weight on and letting the knee ping back. Weight on, letting it ping back. And this is, and you know, we're the water element, sacral chakra, lower back. I'm kind of giving you the movements. These are movements that I do to release my back when sacral area is jammed. And it can literally get jammed if I'm not careful. So when it gets jammed, this is a great little sequence just to do on the back. And the key is not forcing anything, it's just going with fluidity. It feels nice to hold and just add a little weight to the outside of the leg. Then you can just where you arrive, see what feels nice. But remember to yield. You hold in a position. Just remember to take that moment, just to take a breath and just let everything soften. Just releasing that leg, sliding the right foot onto the floor and bringing the left leg over the right leg and just opening out the knee. So do you remember this one, our figure of four? You want the right foot, the sole of the foot in line with the outer edge of the left leg. And then we're just like dropping it over. Oh, doesn't that feel nice? Dropping over to the right and then bringing it back up to the center. I feel like everything's on a spring. You know, we don't really, a lot of movement. You don't see people in the, often maybe in gyms, play with the elastics in the body. It's the elastics that affect our movement, our quality of movement, even the tone of the muscle, the tone of the tissues. Let's play with the elastics here. Take a couple more, just ping it over and ping it back, and then just taking that left foot over, dropping it down, maybe taking the right hand and just having that slight light touch, taking a light touch with the finger, drawing it in, bringing it back, drawing it in. Maybe it feels nice to hold somewhere. And then slowly just moving back in towards the center. So from here, what we're going to do, and if you've got something at home that you can put your legs against, you're going to take the legs up in the air. You take the legs up in the air, you can put them up against the wall. You can just let them dangle, you can put them against a sofa, a chair, anything you like. If you want, you can even take a sort of a band, a strap around the feet so that you give them a hammock, or literally just let them hang out there. And we're going to stay here for about 3 minutes, which is really beneficial. Ideally 15 minutes we do this, but it's probably easier to do with the legs up the wall for 15 minutes. If you struggle to sleep, it's a great thing to do. Imagine, sometimes you've been on your feet all day and like you feel like the legs are heavy. You've got that. It just makes sense, doesn't it? Just shove your legs up in the air, do the opposite, and allow all that heaviness just to drain out of the legs. Maybe you want to move the feet, don't feel that you just have to hold the legs. You can walk the feet. Or you want to tip the toes back towards you to just feel that kind of lengthening in the back of the legs. Maybe the legs just draw in towards you and towards the chest. Just explore what your body wants out of this. It could just be that they just want to dangle. It want to be that you play around with the toes. Breathe deeply into the belly and just let the body completely yield down into the mat, into the earth. Every out breath, like a relaxing wave of relaxation, just washing over you. Just going to hold for another minute. Sometimes these positions that are held a long time are the most challenging, while we just keep the mind quiet. The mind wanders, just know that it's completely normal. All you need to do is just watch the breath again. Just go, just breathe. That's fine. My mind wandered, but I noticed. I'm learning. Great. Practice in mindfulness. And then just breathe. Just watch the breath. we're going to just slowly just bring the heels back down into the bottom. Maybe it feels nice to give yourself a hug here. Maybe you want to bring the feet straight down to the earth and just re-ground. Maybe you want to have a shift around. And just for this final piece here, 2022, yeah, it's lucky. So we're going to just drop the feet down. We're just going to do some knee drops. So the knee drops may even be rolling completely onto one side and curling up into a ball. There might just be simple knee drops. Just play around with where the arms are. This is your time. Now, just for this last little minute, I'm going to do an early Shavasana because we're going to do some breathing at the end. Just taking this minute or so to ask your body what it needs in this moment. Getting all soapy. Really going into your feeling sense with this idea of going with the flow. There's where the magic is. And especially in these times, we're in times like we've never been in these times before. This is a time for creativity. This is a time to colour outside the lines, to shine your weird light. And then when you're ready, no hurry, but just whenever you're ready, start to find your starfish or Shavasana. And just settling yourself in. So we're going to do breath like a wave. Just finding the inhale and a slight pause at the top of the inhale. And the exhale and a slight pause at the bottom of the exhale. Just a few breaths, finding that pause. It's conscious control of the breath. If you inhale, last, and you can count it, maybe 3 counts. See if you can make the exhale last 3 counts. Now just losing that pause at the top and the bottom of the breath, and just allowing the breath to be a loop, to be a wave. Like our heartbeat, we've all got this perfect, unique, wonderful wave tide within us, the rhythm of our breath. And allow that wave to become softer. Feel that natural flow within you. Yeah, and the flow of the breath. Your unique tide within you. That juicy flow. And feel yourself in this state of balance. Maybe the oneness with nature. And if it feels nice, then take the tip of the thumb, tip of the forefinger together on each hand and just press gently. And you feel that flows just a little bit more intense, profound. Feel your flow. My invitation is to feel your flow for the rest of the evening. Have no plan right now if you're able to. Just in every moment, go for how everything feels. What feels good for me right now? You can't do that tonight, and maybe take some time for yourself the next few days to have no plan and go every moment with the flow. So just starting to come into your feeling body now. Start to yawn and stretch and move and get soapy. Just feeling your space around you. Maybe bringing the knees to the chest. Just finding your seat when you're ready, no rush. Relaxo. Eventually join in around the fire, rubbing the palms together. And then placing the hands over the eyes. Just let them be bathed. Whatever feels nice, just as you bring the hands to the heart, just with a little wriggle. Going with the flow for the rest of the night. I hope you enjoyed the class. I want to thank you, Tracy and Barbara, for joining me tonight, because I love teaching that tonight. So namaste to you both. I'm just going to switch off the recording, but feel free to say hi.